now start with gravitation A. Number 3. And in this problem it says Galileo discovered 4 moons of Jupiter. One of the moons, Io, I'm going to need some data for Io. He measured to be 4.2 units from the center of Jupiter. So the radius of Io is going to be 4.2 units. Then he said it has a period, so the period of Io is going to be equal to 1.8 days. So then he measured the orbital radius of another moon, Ganymede. And the radius of Ganymede is equal to 10.7 units. It says use Kepler's third law to find the period of Ganymede. So what we're looking for is the period of Ganymede. So from this one, we're going to use Kepler's law equation, which is going to be that the radius of Io cubed over the period of Io squared is equal to the radius of Ganymede cubed over the period of Ganymede squared. The only thing that we're missing is the period of Ganymede, and right now that is in the bottom of the equation, in the denominator. So we immediately want to take that and we want to put it in the numerator. So now I have the period of Ganymede squared times the radius of Io cubed divided by the period of Io squared is equal to the radius of Ganymede cubed. Now let's go ahead, since the period is in the numerator, let's get that by itself. So we're going to multiply by the period of Io squared on this side divided by the radius of Io cubed. So we have to do the same to the other side. Period of Io squared multiplied over radius of Io cubed. These cancel on this side, leaving me with the period of Ganymede squared is equal to the radius of Ganymede cubed times the period of Io squared over the radius of Io cubed. Just take the square root of both sides. Take the square root of both sides. So now we get period of Ganymede is equal to the square root. Let's fill in some numbers. The radius of Ganymede is going to be 10.7 units, and that's going to need to be cubed, times the period of Io squared, which is 1.8 days squared, over the radius of Io cubed, which is 4.2 units cubed. Plugging that into my calculator, the period of Ganymede is going to be 7.3 days. And that is Kepler's law.